really want to thank...
The cameras are over here.
Oh, the cameras are over here. Okay, well, tell me where you want me. Right here? Perfect. Okay. I really want to thank Chair Marcelino. I thought the hearing on mayoral control was very substantive. I thought it was a very respectful hearing, a really good dialogue on a whole host of issues that revolve around how we make our schools better. And I want to thank him for the way he handled the hearing. I thought it was a good airing of a whole host of issues, and certainly a great opportunity for me to explain to members of the Senate why mayoral control education is so important for serving 1.1 million kids. Just wanted to share that and fire away.
Mayor, the only person who seemed to bring up anything beyond just mayoral control was Senator Terrence Murphy. He then sent a release out about it that he was confrontational with you. Did you find him in any way confrontational regarding fundraising scandal or anything else?
I'm never surprised by what people do at hearings. Again, the issue at hand was mayoral control education. As I said to him, when we got a graduation rate over 70% for the first time in New York City history, when test scores are going up, pre-K for all, after school for all our kids, AP courses in our high schools, computer science for all. I mean, these are real indicators of tangible progress for our kids and for their parents. That's what people are going to judge by.
Mr. Mayor,
What legislators did you meet with and what did you talk about?
In here?
Yes.
We met with the Assembly Conference, so, very large number of Democratic members of the Assembly. I guess someone could get you the exact count, but it seemed to me like maybe 60 or more. And the Chancellor and I, the Chancellor and I, primarily talked about education issues. We got a few other stray issues, but we took questions from, maybe a dozen members on a host of issues, primarily education, and talked about the hearing.
Mr. Mayor, are you concerned at all that the fundraising scandal has made your working relationship with the Senate Republicans even harder to get things done?
Again, the issue here is the substance, and I think the hearing was really telling. We're here to talk about mayoral control of education, the only system that's been proven to provide proper governance of our schools. There were a number of Republicans who participated. You didn't hear them say that mayoral control is a bad idea. No, they wanted to talk about different policy matters within education. They wanted to talk about, how to make sure they understood some of the things we were doing. That's fine. That's very healthy. I said I welcome that kind of dialogue. But the bottom line is, was some counter vision of school governance presented? No. I thought it was a very respectful hearing about how mayoral control works. And I thought they gave us every opportunity to explain to them why it's the only system that actually works for the kids in New York City. So if this is an example of a democratic process in action, I thought it was a very good substantive hearing. I feel fine about the relationship being focused on the issues.
But Senator Murphy raised the issue of trust, saying with all the investigations swirling around your office, he wonders if he can trust you with mayoral control. Your response to that?
The people in New York City who elected me wanted me to do things for their children, like pre-K for all, like after school for all our middle school kids, higher test scores, higher graduation rate. That's what we're doing. And that's how you judge someone. Are they achieving for people? Are they getting things done in real people's lives? That's what we've been doing. So I said to the senator, there are investigations as part of public life, but there's also due process. And I believe we've done everything appropriately. Every decision we made was on the merits about the public need. And I'm very confident, and that's why we're happy to participate and be open to working with anyone doing investigations, because we're confident we've done things right. That's what matters.
So are you saying to Senator Murphy, yes, you can trust me?
Of course. I made it very clear to him. The people in New York City can trust me because they've seen me provide results for them. And I'd like the senator to recognize that is very, very good evidence of the kind of trust that people in the Senate can have in the work we're doing.
You've said several times now that it was a very productive hearing. Are you surprised? Were you expecting a more antagonistic reception?
I always think the best of people, and I believe that there were folks who wanted to have a serious conversation of the issues. I've talked to Chair Marcelino before about education. I know he cares deeply about it. He was a teacher for many years. I've talked to Leader Flanagan about education. He chaired the committee for many years. I think there's a lot of people in the Senate on both sides of the aisle who care a lot about education. And that's how people comported themselves today.
Mr. Mayor, will they give you 7 years, Mr. Mayor?
You asked the governor to support your request for a 7-year extension, and what's been his response?
Again, I don't go into private conversations. I've made very clear to the governor that I think mayoral control is the right way to go, and that this is what the children of New York City need. It's as simple
Will
as
they
that.
give you 7 years?
I don't predict. I think we presented the case, and we're going to keep presenting the case, and if it's about the merits, the Senate, I think, should look at the history of what Michael Bloomberg got originally, 7 years, got an extension of 6 years. I think if we're really talking about working in a bipartisan spirit for the good of our children, it's logical to follow that same pattern.
Did your team help with the Kaminsky race?
again, I don't get into details of the electoral process. Everything we've done, as I've said, was based on the laws, the rules. We follow the rules. We follow legal guidance. I'm very, very comfortable that everything we've done is appropriate.
You brought this up, Mayor, but is there even a viable alternative to mayoral
Well,
control?
I appreciate that question. That's my point. We had one system before that failed consistently. And the chancellor talked about it. Remember, she's been in education in New York City for 50 years, if I may quote.
Why not?
I just keep saying it. Remember, what did you say the day we named you? 70 is the new 40?
Yes, absolutely.
So-
I'm getting younger every day.
There you go. But look, she's talked about the fact that in all of those previous efforts, on the previous structure, just plain failed. It failed our kids. And on top of that, was rife with corruption. Plenty of patronage. It's all been documented. You know I don't agree with Michael Bloomberg on everything, but I believe he achieved something great for New York City by getting us mayoral control of education. And we have built on that accomplishment and done a lot more in terms of graduation rate, test scores, pre-K, after school. So yeah, in all of this dialogue, no one said, oh wait, I've got this other great idea. You don't have people saying, let's go back to the bad old days. You don't have people saying, let's go back to local school boards which were rife with corruption and inefficient. And there's not some magical third way that anyone has put forward, including in that, 3.5-hour hearing? I mean, you were all there. No one said, wait, I want to test this other good idea on you. No. So I think there's a recognition when Democrats and Republicans, business and labor, all together are saying mayoral control of education is the only governance system that works. I think the jury's come back and proven that this is the thing that New York City kids need. And I think in the end, that's what's going to win the day. Thanks, everyone.